morning. Today, before we begin our flow, I'm going to talk a little bit about taking a break. So the style of yoga that I've been trained in and that I teach and I really love teaching and also doing is called Vinyasa yoga, which is where you tie your breath to your movement and you try to move with the breath. So each breath has a movement associated with it. Now, this style of yoga can be very fast, can go really quickly and feel almost like an aerobics class. That's not how I teach it, but I've seen some Vinyasa classes that go very, very quickly. And you can also slow it down a lot and go a little bit slower. But my particular favorite is where you kind of combine the two. So you do some poses that are a little bit slower, hold some poses for a little longer, and then also have some poses where you're moving with the breath. Inhale, do this, exhale, do that. And oftentimes it'll be repetitive movements. So 5 or so of the same flow, sometimes 3 of 2 different poses, 3 times in a row, 5 times in a row. And especially if you're newer to yoga and you're not so used to this, it does end up being a cardio workout. So you get pretty tired and you start losing your breath. In that case, what I always recommend is to take a break breath. A break breath is where instead of moving with the breath, every single breath, inhale, do this, exhale, do that, inhale, do this, exhale, do that, you stop for a minute and take a full inhale and a full exhale, or depending on the movement, a full exhale and a full inhale. So some examples of these would be the yoga jumping jacks, where we're in warrior 2. And you straighten out your front knee, bring your hands up overhead. As you breathe in, exhale, bending the front knee, coming back down into warrior 2, bringing the arms back out to the side. Now these ones, I always do 5. That's my preferred practice, and it's what I do when I teach. And if you find yourself here out of breath, you can always just straighten out the front knee, drop your hands down to your hips. It's a little bit more of a resting pose, and wait. Full inhale, nice, deep, long inhale. And then a full, deep, long exhale, and then come back in. Inhale, arms up, knees straight. Exhale, sinking back down to warrior 2. Another one that when I first started doing yoga, I always got really tired and I could never do these with the breath is leg lifts. So you come into your lunge here, your knee is lifted, you've got this front foot down, front knee is bent, and on a breath in, you lift up the knee, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, coming back down to the lunge. I usually do 5 of these. Inhale, knee up, arms overhead. Exhale, back down to the low lunge. But when I first started, I couldn't do it at all. So if you're here and you feel like you're losing your breath, you can just take a little break. Drop the knee down. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. And on your next inhale, bring that knee up. Hands overhead. And then back down to your low lunge. So really, yoga is supposed to be designed for you. And as a teacher, everything that I present to my students is an offering. You're always welcome to take it, and you don't have to if you don't feel like that's what your body wants to do. So this break breath is a really great way to stay with the flow of the class, but still allow yourself to take that little rest if you feel like your heart rate is really going up, or if you're starting to get really out of breath, then I definitely recommend during any of those sequences where we're moving pretty quickly in and out with the breath, that you just stop, find a little bit of a resting pose, and just stay for a full inhale, full exhale, and then come back in to join the class so you don't feel like your breath is too labored or like it's too much for you to handle. Just give yourself that allowance to take a little break. All right, today we're going to start on our backs. My back has been bothering me a little bit, so I'm going to take a little restorative bridge pose here. You can take any laying down position you like. You can have your legs and arms flat on the ground. Bring the soles of the feet together. Legs in easy pose. Or you can take the option that I'm going to take this morning, which is feet apart just a little bit so that your knees can sort of fall in towards each other. They don't need to be touching. Just gently resting in that inward position. And then the block goes right underneath the lower back there. That's a little restorative bridge pose right there. Close your eyes here. Sink into your mat. You can wiggle around, get really comfortable. Bring the chin into the chest. Rock your head side to side, and then just let your head fall back to its natural center point. Start to call attention to your breath here. Deepening, lengthening each breath. If you're not too stuffed up today, you can breathe in and out of the nose with the lips sealed. Tip of the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth, just behind your front teeth. And find your Ujjayi breath, your yoga breath. Constrict the back of your throat just a little bit so that you can hear your breath nice and loud inside of your head. It should sound like the ocean moving in and out. Let the sound of your breath fill your mind completely, clearing away all other thoughts and bringing you fully present, here, now, inside of your skin, between the four corners of your mat. Let go of any thoughts of anything that happened earlier today or anything you'd like to do later on. And just be in this moment. Start to do a body scan. Just checking in here before we begin our movements so that we can take extra precautions for anything that's feeling off or sore today. From the crown of your head, work your way through your face muscles into your jaw, down through the neck, to the shoulders, down the arms, into your elbows, wrists, and fingers. And then down the spine, upper, middle, lower back. And moving through the legs, hips, knees, ankles, and toes. As you go through, just make a note of anything that you want to be extra careful of during your practice today. Notice anything that doesn't feel quite right. And remember, remind yourself of any injuries that you have, old or new, that may affect your abilities to come into a pose today. Give yourself the opportunity to take a break during your practice, if that's what you feel your body needs. And also remember that you can always modify a pose to suit your body. Just making sure that everything feels right for you. Yoga is not about the perfection of any particular posture. It's about learning all about your body in your abilities, and meeting your body where it is in this moment. Take a few more deep, full breaths here, just being inside of your body. Blink your eyes open. If you have a block underneath your back, just slide the block out and set it to the side. Draw your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lifting the forehead up to the knees, curl into a tight little ball, squeezing everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Find your kneecaps with your hands and do some circles with the knees. Give your lower back a little massage on the ground. And find circles going the other way. Open out your arms, widen a T, float the legs in a tabletop, 90 degrees on the knees and hips. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, dropping the knees down together all the way to the floor, to the right side. Try to keep a 90-degree angle on the knees and hips. If your knees are popping up off the ground, you can tuck your right fingers inside the crease of the left knee to help them stay down. And then bring the gaze over towards the left hand to complete your twist. Release your right hand back out to the side. Lift your knees up to center on a breath in. Exhale, dropping them down towards the left, all the way to the floor. Trying to keep that 90-degree angle on the knees and hips. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the right knee to help the knees stay down. And bring the gaze over to the right hand. Release your left hand back out to the side. Lift your knees up to center, breathing in. We can make our way into a shoulder stand here. Toes point straight up towards the sky. If that feels like enough, you can just stay right there. If you want to lift your lower back up off the ground as well, plant your hands flat on the mat. And slowly bring the toes overhead to lift the lower back up. Support your lower back with the hands, and then start to lift your toes back up towards the sky. Be really careful, straight, just reaching in that direction. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale to plow pose. Release your feet overhead, reaching towards the ground, but they don't need to touch, just going in that direction. Release your hands back out on the mat behind you to help with balance. On your next inhale, lift your feet back up to shoulder stand. Exhale, bend your knees, let your back come down to the mat. Tuck your fingers inside the creases of both knees, and then rock and roll back and forth along the spine a few times. And make your way into easy pose. If you can open up your feet and your knees so that both knees are touching the ground with nothing overlapping, that's great. If not, you can just come into a traditional cross-legged style pose. Inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, keeping the spine really long. Walk your fingertips out. Once you find your edge, you can round out through the back and release your forehead down to the ground. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. Bring your hands to your lap and do some gentle circles with the neck. These can be big or small, faster or slower. Whatever feels right to you this morning. And then find circles going the other way. Bring your head back up to center. Plant your right hand on the mat beside you. Lift your left hand up overhead, breathing in. Exhale, drop it over the other side, holding onto your right ear, and gently pull your head towards the left. You don't need to be bending your head very far down at all. Listen to your shoulder and your neck to know when to stop. Release and switch sides. Plant your left hand right beside you on the mat. Inhale, lifting the right hand up. Exhale, drop it over, grabbing onto the left ear, gently pull your neck towards the right. Be real gentle here. This can feel pretty intense if you start to pull too far. And release. Reach down and switch your legs, whichever leg's in front, push it to the back. Back leg comes out in front. One more time, folding over the feet. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Keep a nice long spine going down. Walk your fingertips out. Find your edge. Round out through the back. And let your head come to rest on the ground. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. And make your way to hands and knees tabletop. Roll over your knees or swing your legs around to the side. Bring the wrists right underneath the shoulders and the knees right underneath the hips. Moving through cat-cow, always going with the breath. As you breathe in, drop your belly down, roll your shoulders back. Bring your gaze up or forward. On your exhales, tilt your pelvis down. Push your spine up towards the ceiling, one vertebrae at a time, and relax the head and neck down. Keep moving, just like that. Always going with the breath. Try to lengthen the breath, lengthen the motion to match the breath. If you're having any wrist pain today, you can try some alternate positions for the wrist. You can turn your hands so that your fingers are pointing out to the sides. You can also turn your fingers so they're pointing back towards your knees. Sometimes that feels really good along the inside of the arm. Just play with it. Whatever feels good in those arms is okay. If your hands are in a different position, bring them so that your fingers are pointing back towards the front edge of the mat. Come back to a neutral spine. On an exhale, tuck your toes under and lift your hips up to downward facing dog. This is my first down dog of the day. I don't know about you, maybe you guys did yoga already once today, but my legs are still feeling pretty cool. You can warm up the legs, bending one knee down towards the mat and then the other. Just get the blood flowing through the legs and the hips. And a nice, comfortable downward facing dog. You can adjust your hands and feet as needed. Make sure your fingers are open nice and wide. Either middle fingers or index fingers can be pointing towards the short end of the mat. Keep the shoulders sliding down the back, out of the ears, towards the hips. Heels are reaching towards the floor, but they don't need to touch. Just going in that direction is fine. And the knees are pushing back towards straight. But again, if you feel like you can't straighten out the knees all the way, that's okay. Listen to your body. Find your edge. Let's do 3 sun salutations, moving with the breath. Bend your knees, look forward to your hands. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Half lift as you breathe in, lifting up the torso parallel to the ground. Folding forward on your exhale, relax the upper body down. Inhale to standing, bend your knees. Roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Side stretch. Inhale, hands high. Interlace the fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down to the right. Up to center as you breathe in. And to the left as you breathe out. Inhale to center. Standing back bend on your exhale. Be real gentle with the neck here. Straight back up, breathing in. Exhale, folding forward, hinge from the hips. Stay really strong in the legs, keeping the spine long as you go down. Half lift to breathe in. Exhale, double dip, chaturanga. Plant your hands, hop or step back to your high plank. Keep the knees upwards, rock them down, lowering down halfway, elbows tucked in, back up on a breath in. Exhale, halfway down again. Inhale to up dog or cobra. If your legs all the way on the ground, keep the elbows bent. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips up to downward facing dog. Second sun salutation, we're going to start our side stretch to the left first this time. Bend your knees, look forward to your hands. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hop or step between the hands. Forward fold. Half lift to breathe in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Rising up to standing on a breath in. Bend your knees as your arms dangle down until you lift your neck up and then float your hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Side stretch again to the left first. Inhale, hands high. Interlace the fingers, pointers up. Exhale, stretching down towards the left. Back up to center on your breath in. And to the right as you breathe out. Straight up to center, inhale. Standing back bend, exhale, cactus the arms, or bring your hands down to your back pockets. Coming straight back up, breathing in. Forward fold as you breathe out. Hinge from the hips. Take your whole breath out to get here. Half lift to breathe in. You can bring your hands to shins or float them over the ground. Exhale, double dip, chaturanga. Plant your hands, hopper step back to your high plank. Lower down halfway, bringing the soles of the feet parallel to the wall behind you. Back up, breathing in. Exhale, halfway down again. Inhale to up dog or cobra on the tops of the feet. Exhale, roll over your toes, lift your hips up to downward facing dog. One last sun salutation, just straight up and down this time, no side stretch. Bend your knees, look to the hands, big breath in. Exhale, hopper step between the hands, forward folds. Half lift, breathing in. Folding forward as you breathe out. Inhale to standing, bending the knees, stacking the vertebrae one at a time on your way up. Float the hands overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Hands straight back down. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, diving forward, keeping a nice long spine as you go down. Half lift on your breath in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. Up dog or cobra as you breathe in, pull the chest through the shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Take a big breath and come all the way up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, send your heels all the way over to the right. Hips can lean a bit to the right. Might feel a nice stretch here on the left side of your body. Come back to center tippy toes. Deep breath in. Exhale, sending the heels all the way over to the left. Hips lean a bit to the left. Feel that nice stretch on the right side of your body. Inhale to center tippy toes. Exhale, push your heels down towards the mat. They don't need to touch. Push the knees back towards straight, but they don't ever need to be perfectly straight. Just feel that stretch on the back of the legs. Lift your right foot high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step the foot through between the hands and rise up on an inhale to warrior one. That foot comes down at about a 45-degree angle. Front toes are pointing straight towards the short end of the mat. Hips squared off as close as you can come towards the short end of the mat while making sure to keep that back left pinky toe edge still rooted down. Front knee has a nice deep bend in it, right over the ankle. Once you get your legs situated, inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. Turn the pinkies in to keep the shoulders sliding down the back. Humble warrior, take a deep breath in here. As you breathe out, sweep your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Push down, puffing at the chest. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Leading with the chest, keeping the nice long spine going down. Once you find your edge, you can relax your head and neck down. Let your right side body rest against the right inner thigh. And peel the arms off the back. Push through your hands up towards the ceiling to feel the shoulder blades sliding down the back towards the hips, out of the ears. On your next breath in, rise back up to warrior one. Exhale, opening out. Warrior two. Pivot the back foot around. My feet always want to go a little bit wider when I transition from warrior one to warrior two, so you can Widen that stance a little bit. Check on the feet. Front heel can intersect the back heel or the back arch. Peek on your back hand, making sure it's nice and high. Sometimes it likes to droop down when you're not looking at it. And bring the gaze right over the front middle finger. Yoga jumping jacks going with the breath. Inhale, knees straight, arms up overhead. Exhale, sinking back down to warrior two. 4 more, just going with your breath at your own pace. You don't have to stay with me, I'm just counting so you know where I am. 3, don't be afraid to take a break breath here. If it feels like too much, just stop for a little bit. Inhale and exhale. 2. And last one. Coming into triangle pose, straighten out the front knee. You can scoot that back foot a little bit closer to the front foot if you like. Making sure to keep the feet perpendicular. Send your hips toward the back of the mat. Stretch your right arm forward. Take a deep breath in, lengthening the spine. Exhale, make a quarter turn down with the arms. Arms come perpendicular to the floor. If you have a block and you'd like to have a block here underneath the right hand, you can set the block on either side of the front leg, or just rest your hands against the front leg. Keep that left back hip really open towards the side. Sometimes in triangle pose, the back hip wants to fold forward down towards the floor. Push it back in line with the body. If it's okay on the neck, you can bring your gaze up towards your upper hand. On your next inhale, bend your front knee, rise back up to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down, frame the front foot. Send your right heel high to breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out. You can keep your right foot up, drop it down to the mat, drop the knees down if you like. Up dog or cobra, drop the foot down, big breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's try that on the left. Left heel comes up high. Take a deep breath in. Step the foot through between the hands as you breathe out. And rise up to warrior one on an inhale. Back foot's down. Rooted down to the mat. The whole sole of the right foot, especially that back pinky toe edge. Front knee, nice deep bend in it. And then start to pull the right hip forward. Bringing your hips as close as you can come to being squared off towards the short end of the mat, while making sure that back foot is still all the way down on the mat. Once you've got the legs situated, inhale, lifting your hands up overhead, turn the pinkies in, keep the shoulders sliding down the back. Take one more big breath in here. As you breathe out, sweep your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers, push down, puff up the chest, take a deep breath in. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips, keeping a nice long spine as you go down. Find your edge and relax the head and neck. Heel the arms off the back, push through the hands. Feel those shoulders sliding out of ears, down the back, towards the hips. On your next inhale, rise back up to warrior one. Exhale, opening out to warrior two. Send your arms straight out in either direction. Front knee stays right where it is. Toes pointing straight forward. Nice deep bend in that knee. Back foot pivots around, bringing the back foot perpendicular to the front foot. If you'd like, you can widen your stance here. Peek on the back hand to make sure it's nice and high. And bring your gaze right over your front middle finger. Yoga jumping jacks on this side. Inhale, knees straight, arms up overhead. Exhale, slowly coming back down to warrior two. 4 more, just going at your own pace. Let your breath be your guide. 3, don't be afraid to take a break breath if that's what you need. 2, and last one. Coming into triangle pose, straighten out the front knee. Maybe scoot that back foot a little bit closer. Send your hips toward the back of the mat. Stretch the left arm forward, lengthen the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, making the quarter turn down with the arms. Check in on the right hip. Keeping that right hip open towards the sidewall. Don't let it fold towards the floor. You can always have a block here underneath your left hand on either side of the leg. And bring your gaze up towards the upper hand if it feels okay on the neck. On your next inhale, bend your front knee, rise back up to warrior 2. Exhale, cartwheeling the hands down, framing the front foot. Left heel goes high to breathe in. Double dip chaturanga, breathing out however you like it. Up dog or cobra as you breathe in. And downward facing dog on your breath out. Let's take a short break. Making your way to child's pose, drop your knees down, untuck your toes. Make sure the big toes aren't overlapping. Push your hips back towards your heels. Relax your forehead down towards the ground. Don't worry about if your hips aren't touching your heels all the way. They don't need to be. Just find a comfortable resting position. If you like, you can also have a block underneath your forehead. Sometimes that feels pretty good. You can just relax your elbows down onto the mat. You can also wrap your hands back towards the feet with the palms facing up if that feels better. And just let the shoulders drape over the knees. Take a moment here to reconnect with your breath. Stretching the breath out. Finding a nice, strong, deep, full breath again here. If your hands are wrapped back towards your feet, bring them back out in front of you. As you breathe in, lift your chest up, coming to hands and knees tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Lift your right foot high, take a deep breath in. Exhale, step the foot through between the hands, stay low, bring your gaze forward, take a big breath in and out. We're going to do some leg lifts. Next breath in, lift your left knee high, arms split up overhead. Exhale, going straight back to your low lunge. Step your left foot back, drop your hands down to the mat. 4 more times with the breath. Inhaling to lift the knee up, arms split up overhead. Exhale, slowly stepping the left foot back, hands drop down to the mat. 3, don't be afraid to take a break breath here as well. Just listening to your body. 2, and last one. We're coming back up. We're going to stay up this time. Inhale, lifting the left knee high, arms float up overhead. Exhale, release your hands, just the hands, keeping the knee up. Interlace your fingers outside of the left knee. If this is enough, you can just stay right here. It's already a balance challenge. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can bring your right hand to your hip and open out the left knee towards the left. You can also bring the right hand up to help with counterbalance here. And if you're feeling super flexible in that left leg, you can grab the outside pinky toe edge and maybe start to straighten out that left leg. Definitely going to want to have the right hand up for a counterbalance. Take one more big breath in and release. Shake it all out. Coming into big toe pose. Bring your feet hip-width distance apart. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Nice long spine as you go down. Relax your head and neck and reach for your big toes. One at a time, slide your middle finger and index finger in between the big toe and second toe. Wrap them underneath the big toe and lock them in place with the thumb. Once you've got both toes, let your head and neck dangle down. Your knees can be bent here, or you can push them back towards straight, or you can bend them one at a time and get a little swaying motion going on. You can also bend your elbows straight out to the sides to bring the chest closer into the legs for a deeper stretch. Release your hands from your toes. Bring weight to your fingertips at the front of the mat to heel toe your feet back together again. Big toes touching, little space between the heels. Take a half lift as you breathe in. Exhale, double dip, chaturanga, plant your hands, hop or step back to your high plank, double dip. Up dog or cobra on your breath in. And downward facing dog as you breathe out. Again, let's take a short break before we do the other side. Drop your knees down, untuck your toes. Push your hips back to your heels. Relax your forehead down towards the ground. Stretch your hands out in front of you. Wrap them back towards the feet. Let your elbows drape down onto the mat. Close your eyes, relaxing into your mat. Feel the earth supporting you here. Notice where your body is touching the mat. Just notice the sensation of being fully supported by the ground beneath you. Bring your attention to your breath, lengthening, deepening the breath, coming back to a nice, strong, deep, full breath here. If your hands are wrapped back towards the feet, bring your hands back out in front of you. On an inhale, lift up your chest, hands and knees tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's try that sequence on the left. Left heel comes up high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step the foot through between the hands. Stay low. Bring your gaze forward. Take a deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, lift your right knee high, arms split up overhead. Exhale, slowly making your way back down to your lunge. Drop the foot down, hands come down to the mat. 4 more times with the breath. Inhaling, knee up, arms up overhead. Exhale, step the right foot back, drop your hands down to the mat. Again, don't be afraid to take a break breath here. 3, 2, last one. One more time coming up. We're going to stay up this time. Inhale, knee up, arms up overhead. Exhale, release your hands. Interlace your fingers outside of the right knee. If this is enough, you can just stay right here. If you want a little bit more, you can bring your left hand to your hip and start to open out the right knee towards the right. You can also open out that left hand to help with counterbalance. And if you're feeling super flexible in the right leg, grab outside the pinky toe edge of the right foot and start to open out the right leg. Definitely want that left hand up for counterbalance. Take one more big breath in and release as you breathe out. Shake it all out. Hand to foot pose. Feet come hip width distance apart on the mat. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, folding forward. Nice long spine going down. Relax your head and neck. One at a time, take your hands, put them underneath your feet. With your palms facing the sole of the foot and the toes resting right in the crease of the wrist. Relax your head and neck down. You can bend one knee and then the other. Release your hands out from under your feet. Weight comes to the fingertips to heel to the feet back together again. Take a half lift as you breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, hop a step back to your high plank and lower all the way down onto your belly. You can rest here. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your stacked hands. Or rest on a cheek and wrap your hands back behind towards your hips, palms facing up. Bring your chin back to the mat. Interlace your fingers behind your back. On a breath in, push through your hands, keeling the chest up off the mat. It's okay, you can also lift your legs up as well. Keep your gaze really low to protect the neck. One more breath in, lifting even higher. And exhale, release. Turn your head to the other side if your head was turned to one side, or just rest on your hands. Bring your chin to the mat, hands come right underneath your shoulders. On a breath in, push your chest up and make your way to a seat. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Soles of the feet come together, knees open out wide to the sides. Interlace your fingers. You can tuck them underneath the toes or just in front of the toes. Push down on your knees, lifting up on the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips. Open out your elbows. Push your knees down farther with the elbows and then relax your head down towards the ground. If you like, you can keep your hands on your feet or you can release your fingers and start to crawl the fingertips forward. On your next breath in, lift your chest up. Bring your knees together. Hands come behind you. Fingers pointing towards the hips. Gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. Coming into staff pose. Send your legs out long in front of you. Plant your hands on either side of the hips, and then rock side to side, tucking the thumbs underneath you just a little bit. Push down through the curve in the bottom of the palms, stretching up on the spine. Take a deep breath in here. Release your hands. Inhale, lifting the hands up overhead. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, reaching for the feet. Relax your head and neck down over your knees. On your next breath in, walk your hands back, lifting up your chest. One more time, hands come behind you, knees come up, pointing towards the sky. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. And come all the way down onto your back. Supine pigeon pose. Lift your right foot up, cross the right ankle over the left knee. With the right hand, you can push the right knee away, or you can reach your right hand between the legs. Left arm comes around the outside. Interlace your fingers outside of the leg or inside of the crease of the knee. And then pull the legs in towards your chest. Flex your toes to protect your knee. Push your tailbone back down flat on the mat so you have opposite forces working on the hips. Release and switch sides. Left ankle crosses over the right knee. Left hand can either push that knee away, reach the left hand between the legs. Right hand comes around the outside. Interlace your fingers. Pull the knees in towards the chest. Push the tailbone back down flat on the mat. Release. Draw both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lifting your forehead up to your knees. Curl into a tight little ball. Squeeze everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Find your kneecaps with your hands and do some circles with the knees. And find circles going the other way. Keeping your right knee into your chest, let your left leg slide back down to its spot on the mat. And then open out the right knee towards the right. Right fingertips can tuck inside the crease of the knee to help it stay down. Left hand comes out to the side. Bring the gaze over to the left hand. On your next breath in, lift your left knee up to center. Exhale, cross it over the body. Right knee. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the knee. Bring your right hand out to the side. Bring the gaze over to the right hand. Release your left hand back out to the side. Bring your right knee back into your chest. Left knee comes to join it. Once again, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forehead comes up to the knees, curling into a tight little ball. Release your head back down to the mat, keeping your left knee up to your chest. Let your right leg slide back down to its spot on the mat. And then open out the left knee towards the left. Left fingers can tuck inside the crease of the knee. Right arm comes out to the side. Bring the gaze to the right hand. On your next breath in, lift your left knee up to center. Exhale, crossing it over the body, drop it down towards the right. Right fingers can tuck inside the crease of the knee to help it stay down. Left arm comes out to the side, bring the gaze over to the left hand. Release your right hand back out to the side. Bring your left knee out to your chest. Right knee comes to join it. Last time, wrap your arms around your legs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lifting the forehead up to the knees. Curl into a tight little ball. Squeeze everything together. Release your head back down to the mat. Happy baby pose. Reach for the pinky toe edges of the feet. You can also keep your knees bent and hold outside the knees. Push your tailbone down on the mat. Gently rock side to side. Pulling the knees in towards the armpits. And release, making your way to Shavasana. Any comfortable laying down position is fine here. Just get really super comfortable. Hands can be by your sides, palms facing up or down. Bring your chin into your chest and rock your head side to side, just letting your head fall back to its natural center point. Release your body. Feel yourself melting into the ground. Release your breath, making your way back to natural breathing. And release your mind. Just watch your thoughts come and go, like the ocean waves. Find a few moments of stillness to complete your practice today. Blink your eyes open. Start to make your way back up to a seat. Thank you for doing yoga with me today. Namaste.